My nightmare.
Welcome back, my fellow spooky folks. It's the scary movie man himself, Troy Ryan, and this is Man of Horror, my horror pod where I talk all things scary. Really quick, I just want to shout myself out because I need to manifest it. It's also the future face of horror for 2023 because, oh wait, I guess it would be 2024, right? I don't know, 23 or 24. The point is, Face of Horror contest that I was in last year, coming back around. I registered, just waiting to hear back, and I'll definitely let y'all know all the details on that. But anyway, back to today's episode. Today we have another guest. I wanted to have more guests this season, and so I'm joined by a new homie of mine, a very talented musician, Trey Dean, aka Mr. 3 Pound himself. We review and rate the film Insidious, The Red Door, and then after, I share a new segment for the show that's titled This Week in Horror. So definitely stick around for that. But check it out.
It's alive. Watching. Waiting.
All right, everybody. So we back. Today we are reviewing Insidious Red Door, aka Insidious 5. I'm here with my homie Trey. He's gonna review it with me. And yeah, introduce yourself.
Yeah, I go by Trey Pounds, a few different other aspects. Always been a horror fanatic. And I'm just happy to be on the show, for sure.
Yeah, it's dope. Yeah, that's literally legit how we first started talking, I think. Us horror shit.
Exactly.
Have you ever seen
Exactly.
it?
Exactly.
But yeah, so I had to ask him, to be on the show, and I chose Insidious Red Door. Homie checked it out, so that's what we're here to talk about. So the first thing I want to even start off with is, in comparison to the rest of the movies, for me personally, it's last place.
Yeah, I mean, I still liked how they tied in the understanding of the Red Door and the aspects of like I said, the ending of trying to figure out what actually happens to the family. But I felt like
story and shit,
yeah. But they spent a little bit too much time on the relationship between the father and the son, or Dalton and Josh.
Yeah, because the other little boy, the other brother, he's barely in it. There's no. It's
I didn't
maybe
understand
one or
that
two
either.
moments.
Yeah, yeah. So what exactly happened to the other brother?
I mean, nothing. He was just not fucking really. They barely used it, and that's what made this one annoying because he came in towards the end, and we'll go back over a little bit, but
yeah.
I can only really recall him at one moment for real, and that was at the ending when he was like, "Oh yeah, Dawson texted me this picture," and so it was almost like he's used for the plot versus actually being a part of the family.
Yeah, how does he not get affected by this at all? That doesn't make sense.
And what was annoying to me, I guess too, and I get after having gone through all the shit they went through, it was damn, the family just broke up like that. Y'all got divorced. It was weird to me that they got divorced. It seemed because it wasn't again, he lost a portion of his memory and he couldn't, I guess handle having this missing, block in his mind. But it's what it is. So it'd be different if she didn't know, but you knew. So it was why leave him? I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't know. That's a tough dynamic because if my significant other tried to go on a rampage to kill me, regardless of the spirit, that's a hard thing to overcome.
Yeah, it is that. That is true.
And you try to kill my son, so that's a hard thing to just not remember. I feel that's tough.
And considering you can kind of always go back to that place.
Exactly. You don't know when. So and then I guess so. I'm trying to identify who was always in their body because it seems like going and doing when they were going into the further that there was still somebody within
Mhm.
Josh and Dalton. What exactly character was it? Was it the
It
was it
was
the dude? Was it the lady with
well, so
the
the
veil?
dad, it was like the lady, the the lady with in the dress and shit. Um, but for the kid for Dawson, it was the red lipstick monster demon thing.
And they didn't go too much detail with how he played a role in
Mm-hmm.
when he first showed up in that series and
So
in the Red
yeah,
Door as well. So it was like, eh.
and I gotta say that's kind of one of the things that pissed me off. Like the marketing for this one was so like, oh, you can't wait till you see what's behind the red door. Like, oh, it's gonna like come open it. Like they had like little red doors places. You open it up and shit
Yeah,
like it was like this big market ploy for it to just be the same motherfucking demon. Like it wasn't like it was some brand new or like maybe if it was a new version of him, like a more a bigger demon, something like that. But it was the same old demon. Like it's like oh that's what's behind. Like why is that so big? Like I don't know. It was just that was annoying for me. It felt
yeah,
anticlimactic. It was like all right. The only thing that I liked that they added, because it doesn't necessarily seem like they added anything for this movie, was like adding in the grandfather or the dad's, dad or whatever, and saying like how he
okay,
actually had the same shit and was like going crazy.
yeah. Hmm.
Um, that's like the only thing I really liked. Outside of that, I was just like, okay, eh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. For me, I think the only thing that really I liked and that was somatic in scenarios where there were a couple of scenes where I was able to catch, like you mentioned, there was like
Mhm.
random like people that were just placed.
Yeah, it was like a lot of this one was very different in the feel of how it like played out because like the other ones was very in your face
Yeah,
with the horror, and then this one was very low key. So it was like a lot of background shit happening. So you had to like really pay
pay
attention. And
attention.
it was like,
Yeah,
oh wait, what the fuck was that over there? Like
exactly.
versus like I think one of the my favorite scares, I guess, and this one that felt like old and Insidious was when Homeboy was getting an MRI and like
Yeah,
he's in there and like it closes up and shit and like the fucking
my only problem is I anticipated it because of the trailer. The trailer already
yeah, it
showed
already
me
gave it
that.
away. Yeah.
So it was like, I know this is coming. That was tough. But there was a part I think that I didn't see when I think when he was dealing with I don't remember what figure it was, but
Mm-hmm.
he was in the bathroom and he tripped out on him in the bathroom
Oh
when he
yeah,
was
yeah,
at the
yeah.
party. That kind of got me a little bit as well.
Yeah, like the guy who couldn't stop throwing up and shit. Yeah.
Correct. I don't know
Um.
why throw up consistently is like one of those factors that truly just scares people.
Yeah, for real. Like, um, I guess the other part too, I have to say that I did like, and that's just like my own like thing of like like in continuation. So it was like nice to I guess come back to the family overall. Like I liked that that was
Correct.
the idea. So it was cool to see that it was still the same exact kids, like now all grown up. Like that was cool. But it just wasn't. It wasn't enough.
Yeah. It was definitely weird that they they kind of symbolized the painting of over the red door
Hmm.
as a way to like stop whatever is coming through the red door. Like,
Which was
I,
nothing. Like,
yeah,
yeah, piss me off.
I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it because yeah, what is the symbolism behind that?
Yeah.
I couldn't really grasp that either.
Well, so I mean, it was basically the door from the first movie. Like
Yeah, of
when he
course.
went, so that's and that's again why it's so annoying because it literally just redid the first movie basically, like or at least in some of the plot because again obviously there was the coma and the
Yeah,
moving and all that shit, but like outside of that, the biggest point was astral projecting, and I mean, so I do like that Dawson too was able to like now use it as like an ability now. Like like I mean it is an ability, but now he's able to use it more. So it was like moments he could just go there
yeah,
versus just accidentally going there when he goes to sleep. So I did like that too. I had to say.
yeah. No, I definitely hope that whatever they're doing with the extended of trying to paint out another series outside of kind of
Yeah.
closing the chapters for the family, they explain a little bit more about the further because I feel like there's pieces that that it seems like the audience truly wants to understand more of
Understand,
it, that would
yeah.
be more scarier and widening as opposed to like this one red lipstick, type
Jesus,
entity.
yeah. And I mean, and that's why I liked Insidious too, because we got, it wasn't about that one anymore. We started to see more entities that were on that side. I mean, yeah, that one and three. Like number three was fun. I rewatched that recently, and the third one was fucking crazy. So I'm like, to go from that extreme, because I don't know if you recall, but it was like the one with the girl who's like a dancer, and then with the cast and her apartment and shit, and her
Yeah,
room.
I just finished that one, and
That man,
I
old man Ghost was fucking her up. I was like, God
yeah,
damn.
yeah, no, most definitely. I just felt like the end was anticlimactic
Mm-hmm.
towards like the very end of it. So I mean, I definitely like the extending of characters, and I feel like that is more of like the astral projection understanding. And I, I definitely want to hear your take on like, do you believe that like people that astral project can get too far from their body and allow, even if it's not a
Mm-hmm.
bad entity, another entity inside of a body?
Oh fuck yeah! So I got two things with that. The first one, that's the other part of like the Insidious movies. I think every single one of them essentially has dropped like slight details or information in regards to that. Because like with the third
Yeah,
one, my favorite thing with that one was like she was like, "Hey, don't call out to the dead because all of them can hear you. Even if you call out to one, they all can hear you." So and that's like real. Like you know like
yeah,
so. With this one, it didn't really drop any gems for real. It was just like, all right, go close the door. Like, and that's not necessarily a gem per se. And I guess that's this kind of like common knowledge. Like, once you open up that door, you have to close it. Like that's just it. But yeah, I do believe that if we're actually like, obviously you got to be careful with shit like that. That's why you have to, I think, have the knowledge and like be protected in certain ways. You know what I'm saying? So that way you are aware of what's going on. But I think you can go too far and look up and either not get back or something else is there. Like, and you'll be there too, but it's just something else there too. And I feel like like you feel it almost. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah.
think I honestly feel like I might have done that before, like a long, long time ago. Because it just feels like a heaviness after. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
you touched on something that was definitely real with mine. So I feel like even when it's known, it's like don't go in the ocean too far in the ocean because there's
uh-huh.
sharks. But some people still do go in the ocean with that understanding. Like
Or too
she
far into caves and don't ever come
correct,
out. So like that.
correct. Like the third one, what really caught me was like how you mentioned like don't know who you're talking to, and she still kind of even know
It
like
just kept
when we
talking.
lose loved ones. Yeah, when we
Yeah.
lose loved ones, we still have no choice and feel but wanting to still want to be like,
Yeah.
oh, they're there, and then she got shocked and maybe
Yeah.
also maybe be make sure you got dogs or little kids around because they'll let you know when them
Yeah.
energies ain't
Dogs
around.
legit. Yeah. Yeah, and babies. Yeah, babies for sure. Babies to look at some shit, but nope, bust out crying on your ass real quick.
Yeah,
Um,
for real.
but yeah, like that shit is. I think it is real. So that's that. Again, like I said, this one didn't really do much on that part,
Okay.
but just show that Dalton could go there at any time now. So I like that.
What would be your
Um,
scary rating on it? Like
so I I gave it two
outside of
out
the
of five.
concept.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had to
outside of
give it 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5.
Um,
Okay.
one for watchability.
Okay.
It is watchable. You know what I'm saying? It's not a It ain't boring. I'll give it that. It's not necessarily boring. It just doesn't match up to the rest of the fucking Insidious movies. It doesn't. Like
You get
I'm
that.
not. I didn't like necessarily jump for real in this one. Like it wasn't like it was just like I said. The background shit and just being able to pay attention. So it was a good story. So it's watchable for that. And then the other one is Killer Fear Factor because demons and otherworldly shit is just fucking scary.
Always,
And
yeah.
taking over your body, that shit is always scary. And that's just another part too. I feel like you can and it reminds me of like Stranger Things and the
I
Upside
was gonna
Down.
say that. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the Upside Down of like there's like moments where like somebody will be in the Upside Down and they'll come across somebody that's in the regular world and they kind of just feel it. Like what's that? Like it makes me think about that. Um, I don't know. Like I feel like it just could have been a little bit, just a little, like not even too much more, but just like a little bit better. And it would have been
And that,
on point.
yeah, I feel like that's where they would have kept our eyes because, like you mentioned on Stranger Things, that I feel like we got more of an understanding of what they depicted as the upside down world,
Yeah,
and like that, let alone made you feel like uneasy to live
because
in
it's just
that.
like at any moment something is probably
And that
there. Like,
yeah, and that's how you felt on the first one when he was trying to get to the house, like
yeah,
just seeing the scenery of like
being
it
afraid to
dark
go
and
to sleep.
smoky,
Like,
yeah, and all that, yeah.
yeah. No, that first one, I literally like the first Insidious movie. I legit had a college roommate. We both had desk lights. Like, it was a regular light and then a desk light. I kept my desk light on for like 2 weeks. I was like, bro, you gotta spend it at your girlfriend's house or something if you got a problem because I'm not about to lay in the dark like this. Like, I'm
Straight
not. I'm
up.
sorry. It's shit. There's things. There's things everywhere. Like the first one fucked me up, and then the second one, I wasn't as afraid in the sense of like I had gotten older. You know what I'm saying? Because the first one came out like
Yeah.
I was freshman in college, still a little young, just like whew, like. But second one came out a little bit older, a little less afraid, but it was still good and it still got me in like moments. Because I remember there's like the part where the mom is like going to go help the baby or something, and this bitch in the white dress, the long white
That
dress,
shit
come out of
scared
nowhere.
me.
Don't
Yeah.
you dare slap the shit out of her! And I was like, oh shit!
Yeah.
I was like,
Or,
oh shit!
or when she caught her and she just walked
Yeah,
and then she went to go see it and then she was already upstairs with the baby.
God.
That shit had me. Yeah, I was like, oh hell no.
Like that. So it was just like, and then again, like you know how like we said the third one with the old man just like whooping this girl's ass. I mean, it was like the one part where like nobody else was in the apartment, and they just started walking to her, and then they like tossed her out of the bed and went to go close her door. So it was like pitch black and I was like, oh fuck, like the third one had me on edge. Um, I haven't watched The Last Key in a while, so I need to rewatch that one. But just none of those felt like this one. So for it to be the final chapter for that family, that's sucky. But I'm glad it's not the end of Insidious overall. So I'm hoping that
Yeah.
like the new shit, like whoever does it, and obviously I don't know if this is like the actor who directed like his first time, because it could have had a little bit to do with that of like being his first time and not having
And
necessarily that vision for.
and I mean, it sucks being your first time and you having to end a series. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
anytime you have to do a movie that ends a
It should
series,
have
it's
ended with the
always
first director.
difficult. Yeah, it's always difficult.
Um. So I mean, what do you think, as far as rating wise?
Um, I would say about a about a 2 or 3 as well. Just because I really did have a bad dream after I watched it.
Yeah.
So like anytime I do have those, I got to give confirmation and credit where it's due.
Yeah.
To the degree of that for sure. But yeah, I think the concept overall, I was already anticipating a lot of certain things, and then when I didn't get certain pop-ups or kind of like what you would experience on like the first 3, um, it kind of pulled it back. But I definitely think the scary factor, anytime you use spiritual demon aspects,
Yeah.
that's
That's just
definitely
always gonna be like a
all,
button. Like.
always gonna get me for sure. And then, like you said, the scene with even though I knew it was coming from the trailer with the MRI scene.
Yeah, it still worked. It was effective.
Yeah. Anytime you have something that just move at you very fast and it's already like in an awkward position,
Yeah.
that's automatically gonna be like, man,
Like
I
I'm
can't do that.
enclosed. Like, oh fuck this. Yeah.
Yeah. yeah. So I mean, I definitely, and I did like there was that scene where he was, I think that this is probably the most intense scene for me now that I think about it. Outside of when he was catching the guy throwing up in the bathroom when Josh was playing with, he was looking at the window
pictures
and
of
he
the
was looking at
window.
all. Yeah, and then the fucking dude busted through the window and chased him up the
Yeah, see,
stairs.
and that was like,
That shit got me.
and that was one of the background ones because like he looked at like maybe like 5 or 6 pictures, and
Correct.
it was like there was a part where he'd be standing there, and I was like, and the first time I didn't notice, like because in about the second picture he wasn't standing anymore. I'm like, okay. Third time I'm like, oh no, that's a motherfucking person. I'm like, oh shit, and like that, like last time, straight through the window, I said, oh fuck. So yeah, that one was a pretty effective scene too. Um, the other one too, I will say, is when Dawson did get like his body taken over, and he's like in the dark with homegirl, and like there's a part in the back where his face is like morphing into a demon behind her, and she'll see it. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, she actually got to see what was going on. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, because at first it was a little blurry, like you just knew it was him right there, and then it just started to morph. I was like, oh fuck this, like.
Yeah, I'd have been respectfully like, we can't be friends, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Um, I wish. I will say the only other thing I wish that was involved in this, and they had like a little clip of them, the detective guys that used to help police, or not detective guys, but like the little
Yeah.
ghost hunter guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish they would have been in it versus because they had like a little YouTube clip that was like a clip of them. They watched the video of at least explaining it further and with all them and stuff like that. So like versus that, I wish they were actually in it, and that would have.
Kind of closed it all off.
Because I would have added, like, you know what? That was also the part that was missing because the other movies had a little bit of humor too. This one didn't
Correct.
have any. I didn't like. There was not, like. I think this one. That's what it was. I think Insidious Red Door took itself too serious. It took itself way too serious, and with that, it pushed itself as something that it didn't reach. Or like that it didn't, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I just still, again, my mind immediately goes back to the fucking marketing and being like, wait till you see what's behind the red door, and being so fucking disappointed. Like, that's it. Like, all right.
That's all it's behind the red door.
Like, it took itself way too serious. So if it had some more of that like comedic element, I think, and then just really some more of those classic like Insidious like out of nowhere scares, um, it would have done better. But hey, you get what you get.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll do good with the threads. I can imagine that they would bring those two individuals back into to the story to be able to like
lean
actually
more into astral projection with the new one too. Like really lean,
Yeah.
like, because now it's been like something that's been played around with a little bit, but like I want them to like lean into it now. Like let's really go in there. We've been touching on it, but let's really like talk about this shit. Like, yeah.
I agree.
I think and I guess the other part too I was gonna say is that maybe the little brother was like in the movie some more too. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that'll make some sense too.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel bad for him as a character. I mean, he probably got paid as an actor, but as far as like, yeah, like even in the first one, like I didn't. You think that he would have been somewhat affected in some
He
format.
had a bigger role in the second one. I do remember that. But yeah, in the first one, it was like he wasn't even really there because it was all about the kid in the coma. And then in this one, it was just like all about our son that just moved away to college. I don't even know what's that little boy's name, but so sorry for him. Anyway, so real quick, before we wrap up, what would you like? I guess would you put it last in your ranking? Like honestly, I feel like the movies literally go as far as ranking 1 through 5 exactly like that. Like first one, second one, then the third. Yeah, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, literally like that. For my ranking.
I truly do like the story of the family.
Yeah.
The third one and last key, I because they played them before, and I try to stay committed to watching them from beginning to the end.
Yeah.
It's almost like watching Lion King, then Lion King 2, and then going to watch Lion King 1.5. Like, nobody cares about Lion King 1.5.
Right.
You know,
no,
so
not really. Not really.
yeah, like you already kind of messed up in a sense for me by like it just threw me off really for so I really would probably go 1, 2, 5, 3, and then Last Key, and that's just strictly
Interesting.
off of like
But
if
the
I
story of the
wanted,
family, yeah. Like,
I want to just get the story out the family out the way, or vice versa. Like you actually start with 3 instead of 1, and do 3, 4, and then go into 1. I feel like that would be more of a fluid
right.
story, as opposed to
Only
kind of
problem
like
with
pulling
that
it back.
is I don't know if like let's say like had 3 come out first, because it's kind of like how you say like you care about the family. Let's say like 3 had come out first. I don't know if it would have been, which is weird, if it would have gotten enough attention, like the same amount of attention, right? Because the family is what drew you in, but then at the same time, Elise is one of the favorite characters.
Yeah, she's literally
So
one
that's
of.
like that's a yeah, interesting. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say no. I was gonna say, do you think that because knowing that and they've closed the book on the family, that they continue to run with her as like somebody that helps out in the afterlife? Because that's what it seemed like it was going on with 2. Like
Yeah.
she was
Oh,
going
I
to
mean,
be
yeah, and
some
then
type of
because you know
gatekeeper.
what, I forgot that is what happened because she does end up seeing him at the end too. Remember, um, she comes out like she's in the middle of the street or some shit, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you have a bright future ahead." Or what if he's supposed to start helping now? Like
Yeah,
him
I
and
could see
Dalton,
that as
like,
well.
cause I forgot. She's like, you have a bright future ahead of you, and it's like, so maybe that's what it is now. That like he is now that he knows what he can do, and now that he like has closed the door on like the fear of it and like the negativity of it, quote unquote. Like now he can help other people who might be going through the shit too.
Yeah,
Because I
and
mean,
kind of
ultimately you
evolve
have
it.
powers.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that too. I could definitely see that.
Or like him and Dawson are like, because it depends on what kind of direction they're trying to take too. So like if they're trying to go to like a younger direction, they will more so be like Dawson helping people, and then like the dad like helping him sometimes. Um, no, no, I guess we'll just have to see.
Right? No, most definitely.
Yeah, man. I want to say I appreciate you for doing this with me. Um, and we definitely won't be the last time because
Oh, you already know.
it's just season 2. It's gonna be a 3, 4, 5, 6, all that shit. So, um, but yeah, definitely let the people know where to follow you and where to check you out at.
Yep. You can follow me on Instagram 3LBS_DGMEYOUSIC. Pretty much on all platforms. Um, and yeah, I'm appreciative to embrace the culture of horror and thriller. And like I said, if
Yeah.
we can get to talking on maybe hopefully I know that we mentioned that the Exorcist. New Exorcist is coming out, so I'd love to do like a compare and contrast of that because
Hell yeah. Okay.
that trailer was
Ideas?
pretty intense.
Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. I'm so down. Yeah, that shit looks crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and then this is the first time that they actually had 2 people possessed at one time.
That's
I
what I
felt
was about.
like.
That's what I was about to say. Literally, that's what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy because already off the compare and contrast or whatever, they have 2 kids possessed at once. I said, "So fuck."
Yeah, I can't.
That
That
one
they
motherfucker was a
too damn
handful.
strong. Yeah, they too damn strong when they possess. So I can't imagine 2 of them. I'm not going to be in that house.
Yeah, no, fuck that. So yeah, we can definitely do that, bro. Again, I appreciate you. Definitely hit you up.
Already.
But other than that, have a good day.
Yeah, already. You too, man.
All
Appreciate you.
right, peace.
Peace.
You let him drown. You never paid any attention. Look what you did to him.
All right, so yeah, like I said, Insidious Red Door wasn't exactly a bad movie. It's just with the other fucking movies in the series, it does not compare. But now I want to go ahead and get into the new segment for this week entitled "This Week in Horror," and what I have for you guys today is actually they released it today, like just different stills and images of it. There's a new movie titled Totally Killer. It's starring Kiernan Shipka, which is homegirl from Sabrina, the Netflix one. Olivia Holt, Julie Bowen, and Randall Park. It's basically a slasher comedy that I believe comes from the same people who did Final Girls, which, if you haven't seen it, check that shit out. Super fucking funny, amazing horror comedy. But yeah, so basically, I guess Kiernan's character, she accidentally travels back in time to the 80s and meets her mom, who happens to be, her and her friends are like being stalked by a serial killer. So she has to like help her mom kill the serial killer, basically, or get away from him, or whatever the fucking case is. But that's the point. It's gonna be releasing on I believe Prime and in theaters, and from what I can tell, oh there it goes. So the date that it's coming out is October 6th. So I'm excited about it. It sounds good. Like I said, it seems like it's gonna be like the Final Girl. So if you haven't seen that, check that out, and then you'll kind of get a feel for what this is gonna be like. So with that, I appreciate you guys as always. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to follow the official Instagram page for the pod, Man of Horror _podcast. And until next time, stay spooky, folks. Peace.